portable typewriter we used to have?
Oh, what do you want it for?
Well, I've been made columnist for the county newspaper there. Boy, what a lucky break.
Boy, that sure is a lucky break. My subscription ran out this week.
You know, Carl, that paper's been wanting me for a good long time to be the correspondent right here.
I suppose they finally had to take you up on the offer.
No, to tell the truth, the subject of hiring me came up repeatedly. But this time, I talked them into it. Now, where is that typewriter?
Well, more than likely, it's at the pawn shop.
No. Remember, we hawked your trumpet to get the typewriter out of there.
Yes, but we had to hawk the typewriter again to get the money to make the payments on the trumpet.
But then we hawked your music stand to get the typewriter out so we could write a letter to the trumpet people to tell them you'd be late with the next payment.
You know, I think I ought to give up music.
I don't have time to worry about all that. I gotta get started scooping up some hot flashes before the presses start to roll.
Mr. E.L. Frawley and...
Stop reading over my shoulder and get out of the house. Why don't you go home? I've got to get this news column read up and mailed before midnight.
Bob, I just want to see what a hot flash looks like.
Now, I've got this great hot flash so far. Mr. E.L. Frawley and his wife went to Hatfield yesterday.
Is that it?
Why, sure.
Don't you think that's a little racy for the newspaper?
Well, it's just a rough draft, of course. I'm going to do the whole thing over and make it more interesting.
Let's see, how could you make that more interesting? Mr. E.L. Frawley and wife, they found out whose wife was whose.
It was his own wife who went with him.
Just a business trip, huh?
I wonder if there's some other slant I could get on Mr. Frawley.
Why, which way does he slant now?
I mean, get some human interest angle on it. Make it sound, sort of sad, sort of pathetic.
Sounds pretty pathetic the way it is.
Now, let's look at it this way. Here's two people. Mr. E.L. Frawley and his wife, they went to Hatfield. But these two people are not just names, they're human beings. They have hearts that beat with love and hate, hope and ambition, courage to carry on. What do two people like that do?
Well, I guess they go to Hatfield.
Maybe I better call him up and see if there's some interesting sidelight I'm overlooking.
Bob, why don't you just send it to the way it is? Just let it go.
No. The paper's depending on me to get the big news, the hot flash, and by grannies, I'm not going to let him down.
All right, then call the Frawleys.
Let me pull the phone over here. Golly, I hope I'm calling at a good time. Yes, operator, I'd like 1642, please.
Golly, that's very close to my Uncle Wendell's number.
Hello, is this Mrs. Frawley? Is Mr. Frawley there? Ooh, well, my goodness. No, it's nothing important. Just tell him I'll call him later.
You know, they ought to call you Flash.
Mrs. Frawley said she had to go back outside and dig around the house. Their dog buried some dynamite under there, and they can't find it.
Where's Mr. Frawley?
Oh, she's got him tied up in the barn. She says he got mad and bit the dog.
I guess you didn't have time to ask if they actually went to Hatfield.
Another interruption. Come in.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Well, howdy, Ben.
Hey, what's new?
Well, the Frawleys went to Hatfield yesterday.
No.
I knew that would startle you. Here, sit down, Ben. Make yourself more comfortable.
Now, wait a minute. No. I don't want you fellows to think I'm inhospitable. But this, I've got to ask both of you to run along. I've got a newspaper column to write.
Well, I can't stay very long anyway, Bob. I'm going to Osbert Stackpool's wedding tonight.
Osbert Stackpool? I never knowed he was getting married.
Well, it's kind of been a secret. He's marrying a rather famous person.
Look, would you be quiet and let me concentrate on my writing here, this news I've got about the Frawleys?
I'm sorry. Say, who's Osbert marrying?
Say, a former star of the Barnum and Bailey circus.
Oh, come on now.
Chartreuse Muck, the bearded lady.
Would you all please shut up with that friddle flabble?
Say, how did Osbert ever get acquainted with her, Ben?
Well, they met several years ago when the circus was playing Little Rock. Osbert fell in love with the bearded lady because she reminded him of his father.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yes, and she and Osbert today spruced up at the barber's shop. They both got a shave.
Well, bless their hearts, bless their hearts.
How can I study up on the news about Pine Ridge with two raving maniacs talking your heads off?
I'm sorry, Bob.
Look, I've rewrote this news flash. Listen and see if it sounds better now.
Yeah, that sounds better. Now tell me, Ben.
Wait a minute, I haven't read it yet.
Oh.
It's just in rough form now, you understand?
Everything he writes is in rough form.
Now it says, Mr. E.L. Frawley, well-known prominent Pine Ridge citizen and resident of the city and wife, a local woman, yesterday motored by car to another city, namely Hatfield, from which city the above-named couple returned to the formerly mentioned city from there. Mr. Frawley is well thought of in the community.
Yeah, I wonder if his wife still got him tied up in the barn.
Ooh, that reminds me. I better call him back and check the details of their trip to Hatfield. Yes, operator, I'd like 1642 again.
Oh, I hope that old lady hasn't hit the dynamite under the house.
What is that? The line's busy. Okay.
So, Carl, did you hear about Mrs. Guzman having quintuplets?
What, again? That's about the third time, isn't it?
Would you two people stop flapping your gums? I'm only looking for important things happening around here.
Well, I thought those quints might be worth a line after all, considering that Mrs. Guzman just turned 70.
Look, don't bother me now unless those quints had something to do with Mr. Frawley. E.L. Frawley, local resident.
Hey, I better be going. I want to get spruced up for the wedding. It's formal. White tie and parachute.
Parachute?
Yeah, it's being held in a balloon.
Oh, hot doggies, I'd like to see that. You want to go with me, Bob?
No, I don't.
Oh, sure. Come along, Bob.
Bob, come along. If we hurry, we can see the governor make a speech.
The governor's in town?
Yeah, he's going to talk about putting that new highway through the city.
Now, how would that look in my paper? Me running around to the governor's speeches and seeing bearded ladies getting married in balloons, and I'm supposed to be getting news. Now, you two get out of here.
Oh, okay, Bob.
Bob, I decided to stay, but I'll be very quiet.
Do I have a choice? This is the longest night of my life. Hello. Oh, yes, Mrs. Frawley, I did. Yes, we talked. I wanted to explain I'm the new reporter for Pine Ridge. I was checking the facts on the trip that you and the husband made to Hatfield yesterday. Ooh, I see. Well, very much obliged. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, what am I going to do now? They never went. They aren't going till tomorrow morning. I haven't got a single good angle to put on this story yet. Let me see.
Bob, you may have to make something up.
Mrs. E.L. Frawley and wife are aiming. That's it. They're aiming to go to... No. They're fixing to go.
I think fixing's a better word.
What'd you say?
I'm sorry, Bob. I had my mouth full.
Listen, why didn't you leave when Ben left?
Well, we'd made so many sandwiches, I just didn't want to leave them here to rot.
Yeah, well, look, there's only 2 sandwiches left. Eat them and get out of here.
But, Bob, I just made a new pot of coffee.
Say, I've got to come up with some interesting slant now that the Frawleys aren't going to leave till tomorrow. All right, let me look at this. According to a report received here recently from sources which your correspondent is not at liberty to divulge, it was revealed last night that it was alleged that Mr. E.L. Frawley and his wife are going to Hatfield. Now, Ben, what do you think?
Bob, I don't know. You used the word aiming there as if somebody was going to get shot.
Well, I guess I need to be... Let me try this again. According to a report received here from sources with which your correspondent, it was revealed last night, Mr. going to Hatfield.
I don't know, Bob. I think you need to flesh that out a little bit.
All right, let me call the Frawleys again. I'll see if... Oh, no. Come in. Well, for goodness sake, it's Opie Cates. Opie, what are you doing out this late?
Well, Bob, my uncle sent me over to use the phone. Ours is out of order.
Well, I'm sorry, Opie. I've got to keep this wire open. I've got to get a flash through.
I'm not sure that Uncle Luke can wait that long.
Well, why can't he?
Well, he went down to the basement to fix a leak in a water pipe, and I don't know how long he can tread water.
Well, I can call a plumber for you.
Well, Bob, that's not going to work. Every plumber in town is down on Elm Street. That big 4-foot water main broke over there about an hour ago.
Yes, Bob, Ben was mentioning that. He said it's one terrible mess. Opie, I am sorry, but I'm right in the middle of concentrating here, trying to get something together for this article I chewed off. So look, tell your uncle I said hello and good luck to you.
Thank you, Bob, very much. I'll tell Uncle Luke that you said hello. Bob, wake up. Bob, you okay?
What in the heck happened? Where am I?
Bob, you got so head up there you passed out.
Well, wouldn't you get upset, too, if you had to file a whiz-bang story and there's nothing going on? Come in!
Mr. Whitmore, listen, did you miss it? It was probably the best fire the city ever had.
Listen, I don't have time to sit and listen to a lot of friddle-fraddle. I gotta get this Frawley story finished.
How did the fire first start?
Well, we got a call. I jumped right up, sharpened my axe right out to the lunchroom.
Why did you go to the lunchroom?
I never like to fight a fire on an empty stomach. Anyway, we followed the smoke and found out that there was this little shack connected to the city hall, and it was burning, and it was only kind of like a second-rate fire.
Well, what? So you just put it out, right?
No, we hadn't seen a good fire here for a long time, so we let the shack burn, and it caught the city hall on fire.
All right, don't tell me, and then you put the fire out.
No, do you see, it was the backside of the city hall that was on fire, and our hoses only reached up to the front, so we had to wait for the fire. We figured if we couldn't get the hoses to the fire, we let the fire come to the hoses. And we sold 102 tickets to the fireman's ball, to the crowd that gathered, and then realized after the building burned down, we didn't have any place to hold the fireman's ball, but it was a big fire.
Look, that's the most outlandish thing I've ever seen, but anyway, get out of here. I've got work to do.
Okay, Bob, let me see if I can get...
Oh, would you look at what time it is? I got to get this Frawley story published. If I could just think of some interesting slant, some news or something I could stick together with this. This place is like Grand Central Station. Ben, will you get that?
Sure will, Bob. Bob Whitmore residence.
Ben, who is it?
It's Tyler Moots.
Well, what's he want?
What's up, Tyler? Oh, my goodness. Oh, heavens. Oh, okay, keep us posted. Bob Tyler's been busy. He made the rounds around town. He said that the balloon exploded during the chartreuse mock bearded lady marriage that the governor suddenly left town when they found out that escaped gunman is still running around. Oh, and the Frawley. You've been working on the Frawley story?
Yes, you got anything on it?
Well, apparently they are not going out of town tomorrow for Thanksgiving. The police thought the gunman was in their house and shot the place up.
Well, there goes my reputation as a newsman. I thought that Frawley story would win me a Pulitzer.
I'm sorry, Bob. I don't know what to say. What do we do now?
I got it. Let's make some more sandwiches.